that story you just related to us over the last few minutes here, countless times to many mothers who have, without a doubt, agreed with me. But I have had absolutely better chance of getting them to eat ground glass than to change the behavior. The trouble, dear Brutus, is not with our stars, but with ourselves. Could you comment on the psychology of not changing?
Food is an important first part of socialization. You can basically socialize people to eat anything. There are cultures in Africa whose primary source of protein is insects. There's a great book on the subject. It's a big color photo book. You can't believe the insects that they eat from infancy. And, you know, it's a low-fat form of protein, and they've done it forever. So you can socialize people to eat insects, or you can socialize people to eat chicken nuggets. But it's really hard. It's really hard to change your eating habits. And on an individual level, it doesn't mean that an individual can't do it. On a bigger scale, on a social scale, that's why people have such difficulty staying on diets and losing weight. In terms of obesity, it may be, if the people are obese, it may be that their set point, their metabolism, what weight they're supposed to be at, is formed very young. It's really hard, and especially because this food is marketed in ways that link it to all these things that are most important to us, to family, to friends, to fun, to all these cultural things. These companies are very, very astute, not only in how they market the food, but fat, salt, sugar. We crave these things instinctively, and they adjust them in just the proportions that they find through their studies that we want them. So it's crucial that children not develop poor diet, poor eating habits. It would be wonderful, it would be amazing if we could persuade the 2/3 of the adults in the United States who are obese or overweight to change their lifestyle, change their diet, and eat different food. It's going to be very difficult. What we really have to do is prevent children from becoming unhealthy, period, and prevent companies from exploiting them for profit. So, you know, again, if you look at how well-educated, wealthy, and upper-middle-class people are eating now versus how they were eating 20 years ago, there's been a huge transformation. And so that leads me to think that if you have the knowledge and if you have the means, you can change your diet. Organic is the fastest-growing, sector of American agriculture. There's a sea change in the diet of the people who know and the people who have the money. And that's why we have to bring this knowledge and this good food to the poor. But it's a difficult thing to change. It's a very difficult thing to change. Any other questions? Yeah? The question was about corn syrup and its relationship to fast food. Well, very cheap subsidized corn has led to very cheap corn syrup, which has led to very cheap soda, and other foods that are sweetened. It's cheaper than sugar, so there's more of it, at a low price. There are some suggestions that the way that we metabolize the corn syrup may be different from how we metabolize sugar or honey, and that it may lend itself or encourage obesity. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I haven't seen any study that is conclusive, but what is true is it makes for cheaper sweeteners. And so, that big gulp, 64 ounces of soda, which contains the equivalent of 50 teaspoons of sugar, is a lot cheaper to buy. So that's the